Hey guys, what's up? Who's that? I think it may be my friend from Ireland. Let's go see. Oh, Richie!
Hey, buddy! Good to see you, buddy. Yay!
Hey, come on in.
So what are you doing here then?
Oh, I was just working on this Christian rap and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Playing my Minecraft, you know,
Christian rap
getting
and Minecraft.
lost in the world of Minecraft.
All in the same kind of thing.
Yeah, dude.
Cool,
It's
dude.
been a long while since I've seen you.
It's been probably about a year, and I have to say I look and feel like
It feels like yesterday, though. Isn't it amazing how when you get older, everything passed by like a day?
Yeah, time does go quicker, and actually, I work in radio, and time goes even quicker. I'm sure.
What's the name of your radio station?
The name of the radio station is Spirit Radio.
Spirit Radio.
And you can listen around the world at spiritradio.ie.
Wow, that's really awesome. Nice. So, what are you doing here in Orlando? You're going to come to our church on Sunday, or?
I did come last Sunday. I don't know about this coming Sunday, but I've been here for a bit of vacation. But I started off with some Christian Music Broadcasters conference.
Nice.
Seeing all the artists like Jamie Grace. I don't know heard of her.
Have you ever had Brandon Heath, maybe?
Brandon Heath. What Brandon Heath had this year? I'm not sure who it was.
You ever have any Christian rappers?
Christian rappers, now let me think. Christian rappers.
Like a Lecrae or
No,
KJ52?
I've never seen Lecrae is great. I love some of Lecrae stuff. But we haven't had Lecrae. Mandisa, is she a rapper? No.
What's her name?
Mandisa.
Is that a singer? Or?
Yeah, a singer, yeah.
Nice. What was she?
Grammy Award winner.
Like pop or is like country?
I would say gospel pop kind of.
Gospel pop.
Yeah.
Wow. And people thought that Christians were lame, right?
You know, actually, one of Mandisa's top songs, award-winning songs, "Overcomer," which was actually really written at a low point in her life, where I think one of her best friends was dying of cancer.
Oh my God!
And it was so she wrote this song to help her through. About a year later, her friend didn't survive cancer but died.
Right.
And so that song "Overcomer" meant even more to her, because actually even in death we overcome.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. I mean, my father passed with 2 brain tumors, you know, and anybody out there that has cancer and stuff or whatever, you know, it's very sad, but God can help you overcome things, and sometimes He can even heal that in a person before they die, and He can actually give them extra time to live their lives and to spend that time, you know, sharing your life with each other. So if somebody in your family really is like having cancer and things like that, you know, just remember these are the times that you need to really get to know them, because we forget how important life is sometimes, don't we?
And how short life is as well.
Exactly.
And that's something that's really been hit home to me is just, I know, probably 10 years ago now, I lose track of time now.
Exactly.
I really lose track of time, but about 10 years ago my mum died. Just about
my
a year.
condolences, my condolences.
Yeah, no, but just about a year, I was at Bible college for about a year, and she got really ill. Thought she was going to survive, and I remember praying to God, please let her survive.
Right.
And as soon as she passed on, she died. And that kind of, things like that made me realise that life is short.
Right.
Also, the other thing that made me realise, Shane, is just the importance of actually spending time with people.
Yeah.
You know, and God, I'm just so grateful to God gave me such an amazing opportunity, buy a hospital bed, and just kind of praying with her at a time when she was feeling afraid and scared.
Right.
And I just, since that time, I just saw a real peace come over her in her life. And about a few weeks later she passed on. But actually God's given me such assurance that my mum is with Him in heaven, with the Lord in heaven.
Exactly, with no pain, no
Absolutely.
sorrow.
And have you seen the film, or read the book Heaven is for Real?
No, but I wanted to see it so bad, and I was hoping that one of my Christian friends at the
what?
church was going to invite me, seeing as they had a new friend to go to the movies with. But you know, sometimes you go to a church and you think everybody's going to invite you in. I heard something Lecrae said once. You know, it's kind of like you don't throw the baby out with the baby water. Or not the baby water. You don't throw.
Don't throw the water out with the baby. Don't throw the baby out.
Don't throw. There's something about the bath water that the baby's in. You don't throw when you throw the bath water out. You don't throw the baby out with it. So it's.
Why would you want to throw the baby out?
Exactly, dude.
Stupid.
You know,
I think
there is Fantasia. I think her name is. You remember there was a baby that was thrown away at Disney, and I think they named her Fantasia back in the day. And it's just another way God works. great wonders.
That's
you know,
heaven is for real. I mean, Heaven is for real is, if you haven't seen that film or read the book, do read it. One of the parts of the film and the book that really spoke to me and just kind of helped me to understand maybe what my mum's doing now is there's a part in the book where, because you know what it's about Todd Blurpost's boy who's about 4. He basically he didn't die, but he had a near-death experience where he actually saw a vision of Jesus.
Right.
He was taken up into heaven.
I've seen a lot of stories like that actually pulled me closer to Jesus, you know, just because, like, I lived a life of, you know, thinking your dad hates you, thinking the world's, you know, against you, you know, and you just kind of lose sight sometimes growing up, and you might think suicidal thoughts and stuff like that.
And it's good, isn't it great for these little things like this to give us a little glimpse of heaven, because
because what I saw and when I listened to these videos was like, dude, it was like this person, he said he died, right, and he ended up in hell. And he's like, he could hardly breathe because it's so hot there and the sulfur and everything, right? Yeah. And but he cried out to Jesus with all the breath that he had, with very little breath that he had. He's just like, Jesus, and Jesus heard him, because it says in the Bible, you cry out to him, you call on his name, and he will help you. You raise your right hand, and he will pull you out, just like he did when was the guy in the boat who come off the boat? Jesus was like, come to me. Was it Peter?
Yeah.
He said, come to me, and he was afraid, and he started sinking. And
he walked on that water, and he's like,
exactly.
At the beginning he was walking on the water, and it was great, it was like all going well, and then he starts looking at
it. Because
what am I doing?
He's like, oh my god, I can't be doing this isn't happening, and then he falls in the water. You know, and guys, don't think we're making light of anything. We're also trying to make this video entertaining for you as well. And, you know, I guess it is. My mind just works at a lightning fast pace, so you know we're trying to do this in a freestyle way, just, you know, being personable with you guys.
Just going back to that movie, because I just wanted to actually tell people about the key thing in the movie. Now, this young boy had a glimpse of heaven, and it was over the course of a couple of years, he would say things that he could only know if Jesus told him.
Yeah, I remember that. I actually watched the real story.
And there's one time, there's a really moving time where
it was about his dad.
No, he was actually in the room with his mum and his sister. No, his sister was in another room, and he said, I can't remember what his name was now. I can't remember the boy's name because it escapes me. But he said to his mum, Mum, I want to see my sister. And the mum goes, yeah, the mum goes, but Casey, she's in the next room, just go and see her. And she said, no, I want to see my sister, but because you had a baby in your tummy, didn't you? You died. And because the mum went like, because that was the mum's turning point, because that was when she doubted at that point. Yeah. And she knew that it was real. And
there was no way he could know.
Absolutely, and he saw, and then the mum said, how did you possibly know that? Well, Jesus showed me her. And when she said, well, what was her name? What was her name? He said, you didn't give her a name. You know, and just how kind of...
But there was another detail that he had, wasn't there? There was some kind of details that he had that she knew, because he wouldn't have known.
She looked like Casey.
Right.
That's one of the details.
And
but it's just such a moving thing. I just actually know heaven is for real.
Yeah.
You know, you can deny it all you want, but heaven is for real, and we don't really fully understand what it can be like.
Weirder things have happened.
One thing I do know, that heaven is for real, and it's a place that we can go. And do you remember an old Sunday school song? I preached about this a number of weeks ago.
Which one?
Heaven is a wonderful place filled with glory and grace. I want to see my Saviour's face, because heaven is a wonderful place. I think it's an old salty.
I never heard that one. I was thinking of the pin.
You can rap it, actually. I know you're a rapper, so I'm going to do a bit of rap. You can give me a score out of 10 on my rap.
Just put me on the spot.
I'll give you a score for my rap, and then you can do it even better. Okay, click your finger. Heaven is a wonderful place filled with glory and grace. I want to see my Saviour's face. Heaven is a wonderful place. I want to go there. Heaven is a wonderful place. I want to say, blah, 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 blah. I want to see my Saviour's face. I've got the words. Heaven is a wonderful place. Oh! Hey. Heaven is a wonderful place filled with glory and grace. I want to see my Saviour's face, because heaven is a wonderful place. I want to go there.
Yeah, dude.
How's
That's
my
what
rap?
it was
I'm
like.
not a
Your
rapper,
rap was
but
pretty
I'm
good
alright.
for. Oh my god, I didn't know you had it in
I
him.
think you're going out of the picture a little bit there. Right?
Yeah, that's what they're cutting my hair.
Yeah,
Hey, stop that, guys.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
Come back.
That's, Jesus does that to me all the time. I just stray away a little bit. He's like, no.
No, actually, Shane, I think there's something missing in this video. You've got a hat. I don't have a hat. I've got hair. Have you got hair?
I got some.
Oh,
I had a little bit left. But look, if I put it down a little bit like this.
Is this one of your hats?
Yeah, that's my ecstatic gamer hat, man. I wear that when I'm playing Rainbow Six.
I should wear a hat actually. Is this the cool place? Is this how you wear a hat?
Not really.
Is that old school? Is that yesterday? When
I just wear it down.
Like that? Is that good? Or can I wear it like that?
Like that. Bring the brim down a little
Should I wear it
low.
off to the side slightly? I don't know. How do you wear caps these days?
Here, let me know.
Okay.
Put it on. Down like that. And then hold your head still. Tighten your head up. Just a little bit like that so they can see that you're ecstatic.
I'm ecstatic.
He's an ecstatic gamer now.
I feel complete now with a hat on.
I'm going to share Minecraft with him when we're done.
Cool stuff.
I'm going to blow his mind.
Blow my mind. Is that what it's called, Minecraft?
Oh, dude. I was going to church probably 3 months ago. And there's this And there's this Mustang, and you know how Mastercraft is boats, right?
Right, yeah.
But I'm getting into Minecraft. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be Shanecraft because everybody's got their craft name like Shadowcraft, and LD Shadow's got Shadowcraft, and Caitlin Witcher has Witchcraft, and it's not real witchcraft. She's cool. Don't leave her alone, unless you're gonna be nice. So I'm walking to church. I'm thinking about Minecraft while I'm walking to church. I'm just thinking about building a church on it, or these things I'm gonna do.
I like this.
And I see this Mustang, and in the front of it says Mastercraft. I'm going to church, I'm believing in God, and I'm thinking Shanecraft, right? And it's like God said no, Mastercraft. He gave me a sign. He's the master, and He crafted my world, so I could even have Minecraft. You know, some people think that video games are wrong, but this is what I believe. God made everything for a purpose, and He can find things in everything, not just the good. I mean, we don't do bad on purpose, right, Richie? To go, we don't say, well, I'm going to hurt you so something good can happen to me.
Yeah.
You know, we say, you know, we made a mistake. You know, you got upset and emotion got the best of you. Yeah. And with that, you know, God, when you understand it and you say, like, well, I was mad at my daughter, so I went and apologized to my daughter, and my daughter, like, you know, feeling a little bit better because at first I was mad. But it's in that realization, you know, that you did mess up, and owning up to it and just saying, hey, look, I messed up, I'm not perfect, I love you very much, and I'm reaffirming the fact that, you know, you're my friend, you're my daughter, you're part of my life. You're not just something to kick around or to yell at or to disrespect. You're something I want to lift up. I want to lift you up to God and let Him put that little halo around you so you can go on through your life and do great and awesome things.
You know, actually, it's amazing what we can do when we know that we're loved.
Yeah.
And
the inspiration it gives you, it just makes you want to do things that much more.
If we're in touch, if we know the Creator God, the God who created the universe and all the beauty, how much more, if we know the Creator God, can we be more creative?
Yeah.
Because we're in touch with Creator God.
Exactly. And even if you're like me, you know, before I have to be, part of my testimony is I used to smoke stuff, you know, I used to do drugs and things. I don't do that anymore. But in that, you know, when I did that stuff, it was like I was already creative. And then everybody was like, oh my God, look at him now, you know? And then I was like, I got a different high. I picked up a Bible, and when I read it and when I understood the truth in it, I got this high. It was like, before when I used to get high off all that other stuff, I'd be like, maybe I could rap better or even play pool better or something at a bar after I had a few beers and a few joints or something or whatever. It's not really that, though. You know, those words are free. I didn't have to pay $5, $10, $25. It was free, and all I did was read it. And after I read it, I was like, you mean you like my craft? You mean I can take that same craft that I was using to just explain my sorrow and my pain and kind of loathe in it and turn it inside out and make it great? Hey.
It's amazing that God uses what you're into.
Have you heard one of my raps?
I think I probably have.
Would you like to hear them?
Oh yeah, hear it up even after my rap attempt. I think we need to hear a proper rap, yeah, for sure.
Okay, we're gonna do a rap. This one's called "I'm Talking About Jesus." So listen up, ready? I said I'm talking about Jesus, what is my thesis? Hated the devil in hell, look I'm still breathing. Releasing God's word a little bit less absurd. Now you can observe how a sinner is swerved. They hit the curb, but was so tired and waited except nobody desired me. So since hell wouldn't even consider hiring me, God still waited to open up some doors for me. I spent 39 years contemplating it, fell back through hatred, almost dead. Still yet just enough life left to hear what God said. Shane, get up, get rid of them sins. I'ma strengthen you from within. I said I'm talking about Jesus. What is my thesis? Come with me, he'll meet us at about 3:15. Just believe what you got something better to do. Give him your time, you'll see things fall in the line, but do it to get closer and express some love. After all, he allow you to go through life through free will, yet you still believe in them pills. I see you put so much through your life through ill-gotten gain, trying so hard to enjoy the pain. Being like that, being wrong all the time, it isn't being brave. Why do you think we even care at all? It's because it's what we were meant for.
That's good. That's good. That kind of reminds me, actually.
I'll try not to be cocky now, because I know.
That kind of reminds me, actually.
And sorry about the COCKY.
The what? Oh, okay. But, it kind of reminds me, we mentioned earlier just how much more we can do when we know that we're loved. And I think, and how much God uses what we're into when we actually know, when we really know Him.
And what's cool to me is my raps. What is it?
Ketchup.
Ketchup?
It's my favorite. Reminds me of my favorite Bible verse.
You mean like ketchup on a cheeseburger?
Ketchup. It's tomato ketchup. It reminds me of my favourite Bible verse. Do you have any idea what Bible verse it might be? How do many people like to have ketchup on their food?
I usually put it on top of the cheese under the bun.
How much ketchup? Do you put lots on?
I know some people put lots, but I'm a kind of sparing type person because I've been poor most of my life. I mean, just enough. I've always had just enough. Like God, He always gives you what you need at the time you need it.
Absolutely. Imagine actually that you just like lavishly put ketchup on your food because you've just got so much ketchup.
Right.
The ketchup verse that God reminds me of it's 1 John chapter 3 verse 1. How great is the love the Father has lavished upon us, that we should be called children of God. And I just think of ketchup, lavishly putting ketchup on your food or whatever like that, because that's how much God's ketchup, His love, He lavishly pours upon us.
I could think of Mountain Dew in that way.
That's my fun thought.
But ketchup. I never thought about ketchup that way. Now every time I have a cheeseburger and I put my ketchup on there, I want to be like,
oh God, you love me that much?
Love me that much? There's something else I was sharing with him earlier. I left the book out there. No, it's that book. Can you hand me that book? These are my daughter's drawings.
Oh, this book here, Scooby-Doo.
And I was just telling him how I could use this. Maybe someday I'll be preaching to somebody on a stage somewhere, maybe doing some poetry or some rap or something.
Just getting in the picture.
It's a little damaged. It's pretty old. Okay, that's what he meant. It went over there somewhere. But look at this book of my daughter's drawings. Now, each page. Now to you.
She'd be embarrassed when she sees.
Right. But I think God. What does God do? He allows you to be able to handle everything, even though there's times you think you can't handle something. But see, God don't give you what you can't handle. He gives you just enough sometimes to refine you. And if you guys don't know it, all you YouTubers know what humility is. You know that all your million views. Where'd you get your million views for? Because you humiliate yourself. You're used to that. Me, I got beat up by my brother, right? So every time my brother beat me up in front of my friends, I curl up in a little ball. After a few minutes, I look up, crying, see all my friends. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta face this? I gotta walk off on this? But after a while, I'm like, maybe that's why Hollywood people are like that. Maybe it's a talent that's honed and refined in us purposely by our God to make us a more talented person who can entertain people, who can cheer people up in that time of need. How many people, when the wars were going on, saw Jim Carrey or Robin Williams, and during a time when you thought the world was ending, you were laughing your butt off and having a good time with your family, watching somebody just be funny. See, that's my whole thing with my daughter. And she drew these things that don't really mean anything to anyone but me.
Yeah.
That's how your God is. you guys looking at all these silly drawings when you first started out believing in them of hardly nothing. But each one of those lines you put down on there, God was like, that's a beautiful line. That's a beautiful line. I remember when my daughter drew her first page, and I looked at it, and I go, oh my God, look what you drew. And she goes, what? I did something? Yeah, you drew a circle? And she's like, what's a circle? I drew a circle? Yeah, that's a circle. I think your tail is it. And you know what? You may think, well, you were being naive. You're making your daughter naive because she couldn't do it. Of course she couldn't do it. She was a kid. She was starting out. Just like you cannot drop all your sins by yourself. You cannot get past what you've done wrong without your God. My daughter couldn't draw the things. I wish I had it right at hand. But the things that she drew me for my birthday, we watch anime. We watch Bleach. And we showed up at a church when Japan got hit with that tsunami to pray for them because we love their anime. So that's how God can use everything for the greater good. I mean, somebody loves you, and they're a Christian, they're going to pray for you. You might not want prayed for, but if you ever maybe thought the blessing that you had today didn't come from your own doing, it came from your grandmother praying over your soul every day because she loves you so much and wants to see you forever. She don't want to stop seeing you. She don't want to think that tomorrow, when she dies, that it doesn't continue from there. And there's nothing after that. She wants you to know that there is something after that. And that she wants to spend that eternity with you. Okay, so when your kids draw something meaningless, I want you to smack yourself in the face. Just like that. Just say, no! You want to speak greatness over that kid. Don't smack yourself too hard and don't get prone to it. Okay. But just let yourself know that if you speak great things over people, they can become great. Even when they're not. Even when you think that they couldn't do it. Just test God. Test God and just say to that person you think is the worst person in the world, I think you can be better. I think you have it in you. And when they deny it, you don't pay any attention to it. Just let it go in and let it rumble around in there. They'll think later, oh, he thinks I'm a great person. Why would he think I'm nobody good? Yeah. Right?
Speak life. Absolutely, it's so important to speak life into people's lives because positive encouragement. We all need encouragement, don't we?
I think God sent you to me today. He's all the way from Ireland visiting me. Out of all my Facebook friends, he contacts me knowing he's going to come here, and he met somebody here in Florida, Orlando, and he liked me enough, and God spoke to him enough through me. And he chose me. He chose to come to my house. I don't have a lot of people coming to my house. And I really appreciate it if you guys just put a comment down there. Show us what you feel, what you think. I don't care if it's the rudest thing in the world. At least put something down there so we know. And even if you do put something rude, I'll have somebody new to pray for. I'll pray for your attitude to change, so when you go to get that job, you won't be like, I ain't getting this job, my wife just wants me to put the application in, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, go to the interview, you got a bad attitude. I'm going to pray for your attitude to be like, I expect to get this job. God said I could get this job, and if I don't get this job, it's because God wanted to refine you through going to put applications in. Don't worry about how many you're putting in, right? Don't worry about how many you're putting in. Worry about that you are putting in. Yeah. My minister, Rodney Gage, at Rethink Life Church, said this, and I pick up, he always hits it right on the hammer is how I say it, and that's just very Christian to me. He hits the nail right on he hits the nail on I mess up sometimes, yeah. But the way that he said it was, I'm trying to figure out what it was I said. I'm so ADHD sometimes. Maybe you guys are with me on this. I'm the same, I'm pretty sure. But maybe I'll watch this video later and I'll realize what it was that I forgot, and I'll put it in the comments. My thoughts are a lot faster than I am.
Yeah, it gets like... Catch up. I know that feeling. That happens to me all the time.
Now I'll be sitting there staring at my burger thinking about the ketchup before I eat.
Yeah. But no, definitely, actually, it's just important to remember, keep speaking life over people. And, because of how many is it? I think it's something like 8 to 1. We need to have, was it like for every negative word spoken over us, we need something like 8 positive words to counteract the negative word.
Amen.
Speak life.
And I always could explain it like vitamin C. You know, people think crazy. They take 4,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C when you're sick. But think about this: you drink a say a 12-pack of soda every day, and you play your video games, and you know you love it, and you can't help but to drink it. It's not the worst drug in the world, but it is killing you. And you get sick because you're not eating any lettuce or any green beans or anything like that. I know what it's like. I deprive myself sometimes too, and then I gotta go and drink tons of water and eat a whole can of beans just to replenish.
Yeah.
And that's how it is when we lose God. We're like, dude, we gotta eat a whole can of God to replenish all that negative that we put in.
Reading the words is important. You know what? I'm going to need to get some sleep very, very soon because it's a big day tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going to show him how to sleep in Minecraft before he goes.
It's a big day tomorrow. Apple are announcing a new iPhone and a possible watch as well. So
maybe we'll both get one for free for you mentioning it.
Yeah. They haven't done yet, though. They've done it on the radio.
I love a present. I haven't had a present in so long.
Yeah, please.
I always buy myself birthday presents.
Yeah, me too, actually. You know what? I bought myself a birthday present in June. A phone, because I wanted a nice... Because I couldn't afford an Apple. I bought a Windows phone. And Windows phone, I think they're tops. For the fact of the money. And I had to send it back just before I came to Orlando because the screen went funny. All the way to Hong Kong.
Are they going to send you a new one?
They are, yeah. But just kind of... If you buy, like, something from Hong Kong... not available here. Just bear in mind the warranty isn't probably even covered in your own country. You have to send it back to Hong Kong.
Oh wow! Have you ever seen that thing? Have you ever seen that thing? Or I don't know about thing or whatever. But
thing? Oh, no, that thing.
I was down in the iDrive area where tourists are or whatever. And I was looking at cameras.
Is this the international drive?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the local town.
Yeah, and they had cameras that were for sale for tourists.
Oh, okay.
And they said if you try to use these cameras here, they don't function in the way they would in another country because of settings or something. Anyway, I probably haven't...
Video cameras.
Yeah, video cameras.
Yeah, because actually the States is different system to Europe. That's what we call video.
That's just
Let's not get into that now, it's too late.
And speaking of, just before we go, he's got to go. I got to teach him a little bit about sleeping in Minecraft because, you know, that's how I don't get sleep is I virtually sleep. But anyway, I just wanted to mention this. This is a birthday present I made for myself. I went to Walmart, and this is my favorite vlogger out there. You shut up. He knows I talk too much about Kate. Anyway, I went to Walmart for my birthday. It wasn't my birthday. It was like years of my birthday. But every time I buy something for myself or do something for myself, it's a present that I didn't get on a birthday or something like that. Okay. So I went to Walmart and bought myself this $5 purple shirt. I think Kate's favorite color is purple. And she's a gamer too, and I play a lot of Minecraft, and now I'm playing Skyrim and stuff, so I'm addicted to it, but I asked God to use me through that, and that's why we're making this video and talking about things we're about, and also feeding God into that and through you guys, so you might have a better chance as well. So I just want to tell you real quick how to make one of these. You just get some freezer paper. Freezer paper on the other side has a shiny coat. That shiny coat, if you put it down on a t-shirt and iron it, it will stick to the shirt. Now before you iron it on, put it on your table and take an X-Acto knife and a pen. Draw on that exactly what you want, a shape or something that you want. And you can put a word or something, then cut it out with an X-Acto knife exactly. Then iron it on, it won't move. Now you just take some puffy paint from Walmart or Joann's Fabric, and you take an old credit card or debit card and swipe it back and forth, and then just apply the colors as you want. Maybe put some dashes around it afterwards like I did. And you got a really cool, ecstatical Kate's Games shirt. I didn't, you know, I see these guys that they're actually Christian. What's the guys with the beards?
David Taliban?
No, they're YouTube famous.
Oh, okay.
And they're and they all have beards. They have their own T-shirt now at Walmart. No, it's not the Bee Gees. My minister likes them very much, and they've been quoted on saying things about God and stuff like that too. I wish I could remember their names. I'm just not into them as much as Rodney is.
They've got beards.
But anyway, these guys have their own. They're popular on YouTube, and they have their own T-shirts. And every time I walk in there and see their T-shirts, I try to mention around the Walmart person, where is Kate's Games shirts? These people are famous Kate has millions and millions of kids and adults and people following her. I think Walmart, you need to put Kate's game shirts in your store. And Kate, make some of those shirts and go to Walmart, and me and him are going to pray for you to have an awesome life and be productive and continue to do your YouTube channel, because you inspire us guys out here who still like down-to-earth, wholesome, cool, just radical girls like yourself. Alright? Keep gaming.
Be radical.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
And amen.
Keep radical, guys. Keep it real.
Peace. Yeah.